On the debate tonight, I'm joined in the studio by Hartosh Singhbal, political editor, Open Magazine, Sabha Naqvi, political editor, Outlook, R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, chief of bureau of Varta. Also joining us this evening is Swapan Dasgupta, senior journalist and columnist. Mahesh Jethmalani represents the BJP point of view. And my first question is to Sanjay Nirupam, national spokesperson and member of parliament of the Lok Sabha. The BJP says, Mr. Nirupam, essentially you are finished. You as in the UPA. Effectively, the UPA is finished. More and more people are saying it's finished, it's a lame duck government, it will somehow maybe cobble across for the next few months. But you have entered that lame duck phase now after the DMK's withdrawal, particularly.
No, BJP has been saying all these things for a long time. That is their basically a wish that the government should go. But still, despite their all ill wish, we are continuing the power. We understand the compulsion of DMK and its leader, Mr. Karunanidhi, and under some compulsion they have withdrawn. But doesn't matter. They have just demanded something from the government. Whether the government can do it or not, it has to be decided later on. They are asking for a resolution to be adopted by the parliament. Now the wordings are going to be very tricky. So at the end of the day, all the political party will have to create a consensus, and then will come to the parliament. So it's still there is no problem in the coalition government. Different political parties join hand to run a government. All the political parties have their own political compulsion, their own sensitivity. So I don't think the government is finished. We are going to continue and we are going to finish our term. Complete our term, I mean.
Mr. Jethmalani, do you think the Congress is putting on a brave face?
Well, I tend to agree with Sanjay Nirupam, because I don't think ultimately Karunanidhi will call the bluff. I don't think he'll actually carry out his bluff. I don't think he'll go the whole hog. I think there'll be some compromise formula. I mean, this is all playing to the gallery, playing to his own, playing to a constituency. He's bereft of issues. His family and his party, senior party leaders face serious corruption charges in the 2G matter. So I think he needs an issue, and he's grandstanding at the moment. But I don't think he'll actually withdraw it. But then when the BJP says that the Congress is finished, it doesn't mean that its term is over. It says it's like a terminally ill patient, like a patriarch who's terminally ill, and all its allies are like heirs who are blackmailing it and saying, we won't keep you on the ventilator. We won't keep you on the ventilator if you don't give us a little bit of your estate.
Yes, but Mr. Jethmalani, the people of this country don't just want to know whether the government will somehow, scrape through another 65 weeks till the general elections. They want to know how this government will survive this period, whether their government will be stable, because Mr. Swapan Dasgupta, let me get you in next. This government now, in the current political scenario, because the DMK is going to president at 10 o'clock, is largely dependent on smaller parties with 1 or 2 seats. NPF, JDS, RJD. I mean, how many seats does Lalu have? 3? BSP has 21 and SP has 22, but they're completely undependable. Do you think the government can continue surviving strongly, effectively, Mr. Dasgupta, with these numbers?
Well, to put a rather crude analogy, I think, Arnab, what we are really debate is whether death is going to come by jhatka or it's going to follow a halal route. I think really this is at the moment, as far as the political life in this government is concerned, it's for all practical purposes over. And I think today marked the inauguration of the election season. Now, whether that election happens in November, December, or actually the government manages to stretch it till April, May of next year is a matter of some conjecture. But I am more concerned about one more thing, that you see, governments, parties and coalitions often withdraw support. Mamata Banerjee withdrew her support on the question of fuel price hike. Some others may do it on some other issues. Now, the cost of trying to retain a government, if that propels India into a misadventure, not merely the UPA into a misadventure, but India into a misadventure, then it is something worth considering. And I'm referring in particular to
So
this
what
proposed
misadventure?
parliamentary
What
resolution.
misadventure? I thought
Because
the only misadventure which happens
because
before a general election
I am saying,
is called the
no,
Central
this is-
Bureau of Investigation.
No,
which
the
begins
real
to hit allies,
misadventure.
like you hit the BSP before the 2004 election.
No. The real misadventure is that we are going to turn our foreign policy on its head. We are going to interfere in the internal affairs of a country. We are going to make ourselves vulnerable to all sorts of pressure in future, all because the government needs 18 or 20 MPs from the DMK. I am referring in particular not to the multilateral vote that might take place in Geneva. I am referring to this so-called proposed resolution in Parliament, which is unprecedented. It is going to really upset. This is the price the government has to pay by making India the recipient or vulnerable to every form of foreign interference in future. Because once you do it, they are going to do it. We, few days ago, as a parliament, decried the Pakistan's motion. Decried Pakistan National Assembly for its interference in the internal affairs of India. Today we cannot do the same. We can privately counsel Sri Lanka about how they should treat their Tamils, how they should not treat their Tamils. We can privately do things. We can take it to multilateral fora as the UN Human Rights Commission. But when the sovereign parliament does it, all because the government needs to be saved, all because I think that's a terrible price which we have to pay. And if that is the price we have to pay, I think the government should go.
Got your message. Swapan Das Gupta, the debates, you know, Mr. Swapan Das Gupta, Sanjay Nirupam says, I want to interrupt out there. And Mr. Nirupam, I will let you interrupt. I will, however, before you come in, I want to ask Mr. Bharti, who represents the DMK today. Mr. Bharti, please tell me, how much of this is drama? Sorry for putting it so bluntly. How much of it is drama which is being played out between you and the Congress? Because even the BJP believes that all this is just drama.
No, this is nothing. It is not at all a drama. Our political opponents are using that word as drama. Now the decision taken is final. We are no more with the UPA. We will never continue because we have been disappointed by the attitude of the Congress and the UPA.
No. So what if they pass this resolution
the party
in Parliament?
has decided and our leader has categorically said it. The resolution to be passed in the Parliament as well as in the Human Rights Commission before the UN in Geneva, the resolution should be drafted according to the decisions given by the DMK leadership to the UPA. Previously they assured us, but now they are not showing any interest to the resolution or the resolution to be passed in the Parliament. That has forced us to come out. We were having confidence.
Yes, Mr. Bharti.
That at least
one minute. Mr. Bharti, before this debate is taking an interesting turn. One side of the debate, I want to get Sabha in on this. One side of the debate is believing, Mr. Jethmalani says all drama between the Congress and the BJP. The DMK says not drama, and they are meeting the president at 10 o'clock. Do you think it's drama, Sabha?
No, I've not thought it's drama for many hours today.
No.
I think they're
let them wait
serious.
for another 2 days.
Arnab, let's just flash back a little bit. Remember, the DMK pulled out from the Vajpayee government. A few months later, there were elections. Just look back. There is a history of how the DMK acts. I think they have a the Congress is not looking attractive to regional parties right now. And so they are acting, and they couldn't have left the government on a 2G issue. It's just not an issue on which you save face. And also,
so there's history. So you are saying the DMK has walked out on the Congress?
I think 80% they cannot go back, and they've put conditions which are impossible. Though Arnab, I will disagree with your position and Chopin's position here. I wonder this whole thing about India, because if the US can have a resolution on human rights, what has made us so vulnerable that we can never raise the issue of human rights? I'm not talking about strategy right now, But there was a time when India used
But
to
Swapan
talk...
Dasgupta is only talking strategy.
there was a time when India used to take positions on moral issues. India led the non-aligned movement. India had moral positions to offer the world. So I'm not getting into the DMK's proposition right now, but in principle I'm questioning that whole theory that we can never say anything about anything going terribly wrong in any part of the world.
Well, I think, Mr. Sanjay Nirupam wanted to come in, so I'd just like to go back to him before I come to you. Mr. Sanjay Nirupam, yes please, you wanted to respond to Swapan Dasgupta, who was telling you that don't give in. For your survival for a few more months, you will ruin India's foreign policy forever. I want you to respond directly to him, sir.
Arnab, as far as the issue of human rights violation is concerned, Government of India has always taken a stand in this regard. Today also, while our Congress President was addressing us, and she basically raised this issue that we are for the Sri Lankan Tamils, and if their human rights are being violated, the government, the party is always ready to come out in their support. So as far as this issue is concerned, and on this issue, Parliament has debated so many times. Even in this session, plight of Sri Lankan Tamils were debated in the Parliament. So on this issue, if some sort of resolution is being adopted in the Parliament, I don't think there will be any diplomatic problem on this issue.
No,
and now the issue is which word, what type of word.
No, Mr. Nirupam, the DMK, Mr. Nirupam, the DMK is telling you, look at Pakistan, they had the guts to pass a resolution against the hanging of Afzal Guru. Your government was leading the next day when you passed a counter resolution about non-interference in the internal affairs of a nation. Answer Swapan Dasgupta today, who is telling you, you cannot do the same thing that you were criticizing 3 days back. This is complete hypocrisy from your side for your political survival.
First of all, Arnab, government has already said at the floor, on the floor of the House, that it is very much open as far as the resolution is concerned. Now, with regard to Pakistan, there is a difference between Pakistan and India. Pakistan has nothing to do with our issue as far as our terror incidents are concerned, or the people who were found guilty in the terror act in India. Pakistan was always involved in the terror activities, Pakistan has always perpetrated terror activities in India. So Pakistan is an entirely different issue. Please don't equate Sri Lanka issue with the Pakistan attitude. So we are not going to accept anything which is being said by
Sanjay Nirupam, let's go. No, wait, Sanjay Nirupam, you're getting 2-3. Sanjay Nirupam, all news our viewers are simply asking one question today: will you survive? But they are also asking what cost this country will pay for your survival. Hartosh wants to come in. Hartosh.
Look,
Hartosh Singh Bal to Sanjay Nirupam.
We've already set a precedent of this kind of oscillation over foreign policy. You know, if the government had a consistent foreign policy, they could have considered a resolution till now. They suddenly talk of a resolution when there's a regional gun to their head. We've had this happen in West Bengal when the Prime Minister went to Bangladesh. We have Narendra Modi talking of Sar Creek when this government is talking with Pakistan. So it's not just one regional alliance. The BJP is guilty. We no longer have a consistent foreign policy that is immune to domestic compulsion.
So what's your charge against the UPA?
The UPA has made this possible. It has lent itself... it is willing to bargain away every conceivable aspect of governance for survival.
Mr. Rajagopal, what would your advice be to Mr. Sanjay Nirupam? Will bending over backwards with the DMK work, or have they made up their mind?
They have made up their mind. DMK has made up their mind. Tonight, 10 o'clock, they are going to meet the president.
Yeah.
And tomorrow morning, 10:30, the DMK ministers are going to submit their resignations to the Prime Minister. Now there is no way at all. I would like to ask Mr. Sanjay Nirupam, there were zigzag policies of Congress towards LTTE, towards Tamil Eelam. Last week you attended Tamil Eelam's conference, and Priyanka Gandhi meets LTTE survivor in jail, and Madam Sonia Gandhi says no Eelam, no Eelam, no Eelam. Why this zigzag in Tamil politics? You have been vacillating, Mr. Sanjay Nirupam. You did not have a proper policy towards Sri Lanka or Sri Lankan Tamils.
Rajgopal, you are making too serious charge against Congress.
Yes, Mr. Nirupam, respond.
Sri Lanka, I'm responding. He is making too serious charge against the Congress party. It is not the case. The case is the Indian Tamils are very much sensitive towards Sri Lankan Tamils. So anything happens to Sri Lankan Tamils in Sri Lanka, they basically react very emotionally. So we have to take care of the emotions of Indian Tamils, and just taking care of the emotion of Indian Tamils, we are taking our stand because somehow we have
Today
to.
DMK
we are
exposed you, Mr.
committed to
Sanjay
the-
Nirupam.
basically
Today DMK exposed Congress. That is why
No.
you have to eat that humble pie now.
I don't think DMK has.
If you are
exposed
supporting
us.
Tamil Eelam,
DMK
Rajiv Gandhi
is
would
going
not have been
through under
killed.
its problem.
You would have given the Eelam in 1985 itself.
Rajgopal.
Congress
Rajgopal,
lost its
these are
ground in
very
Tamil Nadu
different
because
issues.
of
We
your
can-
vacillating policies.
Rajgopal, these are very different issues. We can discuss it somewhere later. But what I meant to say, that government is very much stable.
This is the
One,
time.
it is going to
DMK has
survive.
withdrawn
Two,
support
and
from you.
third,
On
and
this issue,
third,
Sanjay.
and third. 1 minute, Rajgopal, let me complete, please. So government is very much stable, it is going to survive, and thirdly, we really respect the sensitivity and the political compulsion of DMK, and that's why the government has sent 3 senior ministers to explain its position before Mr. Karunanidhi, and he could not understand that his basically political decision.
So how are you so
despite
confident,
that
Mr.
decision,
Nirupam,
despite
that
the
they,
pullout
one
of
second,
DMK,
Mr. Nirupam, this is a bit suspect. This is now looking a bit suspect because the issue is so complicated. You sent your ministers, they could not resolve anything.
They failed, Arunabh. They failed. They did not yield any result.
Yeah.
They did not convey to Karunanidhi the sentiments
not
of Sonia
necessary.
Gandhi
It is
and also
not
Prime
necessary.
Minister.
It is-
It's a direct charge. Because
Rajgopal-
DMK MPs are telling
Rajgopal
me
ji,
it was not
Rajgopal-
properly translated to Mr. Karunanidhi. Yesterday night Karunanidhi supported you. Today he is
Mr.
not
Ra-
withdrawn support.
Mr. Rajgopal, it is not necessary that each and every negotiation should be succeeded. It is not necessary. Sometimes your negotiation fails. But we tried our best to convince Mr. Karunanidhi, but he was not convinced. So it doesn't matter. Government of India is right now having a majority
Sabah
with
Naqvi
the
and
support
Hartosh
of
have
the
questions here.
outside
They are coming
support
back
of
into the debate.
political
Sabah,
parties.
please go ahead.
You know, I'm just the whole through the day today, the Congress has been saying that this whole crisis will blow over, whereas the DMK sources have been saying no. And the Congress is, let's not forget, Arnab, a very, very important. They're in a very bad shape right now. Let's not forget, even the finance minister stands from Tamil Nadu in an alliance with the DMK. This is very, very bad news for a senior leader like him.
So then,
who's just come out with the budget.
So if the DMK crisis does not blow over, let's go back to Mahesh Jethmalani. If the DMK crisis does not blow over, the Congress depends on 2 allies from Uttar Pradesh and will be at their mercy for each and every issue. My question today is an early election a better prospect than a government which runs at the mercy of 2 parties from Uttar Pradesh, both of whom are highly demanding and extremely unreliable, and both parties can never work together? Kumar, actually, let me, Mahesh Jethmalani, Kumar Ketkar, after that I'm coming to you. Yes, Mahesh Jethmalani.
Well, from an oppositional perspective, particularly a BJP perspective, either way it makes no difference whether elections are held prematurely in October. This government has a premature demise because one of its allies or 2 crucial allies walk out, or elections are held as normally they would be in May next year. Because either way the result is going to be the same. This government is going to be in for a tremendous drubbing. But the point of the matter is, I really think
because you're not ready. You're saying so because you're fully aware the BJP is not ready for an election. The BJP is too divided.
That's not entirely true.
It does not have enough allies.
I am saying, no. Arnab, I am saying that not so much because the BJP is not ready, because I know there are many more skeletons that will come rumbling out of the closet in the near future for the Congress. This government is going to stand further and further exposed. Its feet of clay and its gross corruption are going to be exposed further, and therefore let it die a slow death. That may be bad for the country, but I think it's time once and for all the corruption issue was exposed fully, and all those guilty at the highest echelons of power are truly brought to book this time. I think it's necessary, and I think in the next few months you will see people at the very highest levels of power being exposed.
The SP and the BSP. Is it good for a country to have a government so overly dependent on smaller parties?
Yeah, obviously it is not good for the country to depend entirely on Mayawati and SP. And UPA might surprise us perhaps by saying that, okay, we are ready for elections. The crisis is as much for DMK as much for the UPA. DMK wants to settle its house in order, also fight against Jayalalitha. So they are pretending as if they represent the entire Tamil population and want to play the Tamil identity card. I think this strategy of withdrawing ministers has been done before by Jayalalitha when NDA-1 was in power. So I think this is an old strategy, and that strategy is being worked out by Karunanidhi. I don't think he will come back because his credibility will be actually extremely damaged. If he withdraws from his current position, he will stay the course and create crisis for the UPA. Whether UPA falls immediately and calls for election is another matter. So what for DMK to come back to support UPA directly or indirectly, outside or inside, is going to definitely cause a big damage to DMK's prestige. They will not do it. Most likely they will not do it. And if they do it, they will be fighting against Jayalalitha on a weaker ground. So I think the crisis is not only for the UPA, crisis is also for the DMK, and crisis also for all the other parties, because I don't think any MP, forget any party, any MP, nobody wants elections at the moment. If you talk to MPs, nobody wants election. Everybody wants to complete the term almost till May. So I think the consensus within MPs is to carry on, stay the course and have elections only in May. But if it happens to fall, I think UPA will be quite ready.
Sure, but what happens to governance? What happens to governance if a government survives with such numbers? Swapan Dasgupta, what happens to governance? If you have to the two UP parties you are supported by, besides of course Lalu Prasad Yadav, the JDS, Deve Gowda and Lalu Prasad Yadav aren't really the kind of allies that you'd be looking for to run a successful government. What happens to governance, Swapan Dasgupta?
Yeah, you see, Arnab, I think what is very, very crucial at this moment is that two of the main subsidiary pillars on which the government rests, that is the Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party, hate each other. They loathe each other, and it's also almost predetermined that both of them are going to fight the elections, the Lok Sabha elections, independently without any alliance or understanding with the Congress, or so it would seem at this point. Of course, people can change anything. Now, given such a situation, I think we are going to be faced in a position where the government is on tenterhooks almost on a daily basis. It's not a question of one tantrum and the other tantrum. Yes. I think I would tend to agree with Sabha that today the regional parties see diminishing returns from a continuing association with the Congress. So, here the issue is going to be Samajwadi Party will choose its own time and an issue which is convenient to it for a withdrawal. Likewise, Mayawati would also want to do it, plan it exactly in that way. Just as the DMK, if it had to choose a thing, it had to choose a Tamil issue, an emotive Tamil issue and the thing. Now, I think, therefore, you cannot continue a meaningful government which has any proposed legislation in mind. So, as far as governance is concerned, I think we are likely to see the termination and the end, at least as far as this Lok Sabha is concerned, of ambitious schemes like the land acquisition bill, like the food security bill, and perhaps many other. Because of the need to somehow avert elections for the moment, the budget will get through, but the follow-up, the fiscal discipline which was accompanied, which was a part of the budget, the economic commitments which were given, all of them are going to go out.
But then we are coming to a different point. And on this point, I have one last question to Sanjay Nirupam. That Mr. Nirupam, everybody on the panel seems to agree that one by one your allies will leave you. It is not a question of whether they leave you. It is a question of how they leave you, the issue they find to leave you. Because in the next general election, regional parties want to go it alone. They don't want to be seen to be tying up with the UPA or with the Congress party. The DMK is first, maybe the others will follow. Do you agree with that assessment, Sanjay Nirupam? Then I take it to the panel.
No, I don't agree as far as the UPA coalition partners are concerned. But as far as Samajwadi Party and BSP concerned, these parties are not part of our UPA and they are not our allies. They are just supporting this government from outside, and they have been contesting election against Congress Party. Rather, Congress Party has been contesting election against these political parties.
But you're dependent
so when
on
they are
them.
going to pull out, when they are going to withdraw their support,
Santosh.
that is up to them. But we are not just dependent upon them. Whenever they want, they can go.
They are looking for Nitish Kumar.
But the point is, who
yesterday
wants
Nitish Kumar
instability?
met after having a
Who
big
wants-
rally.
One minute.
Sanjay Nirupam, are you looking for Nitish Kumar?
Rajgopal, let me complete first, then you ask your question. I will try my best to answer your intelligent question. The point is Samajwadi Party or BSP, both the parties are not interested in any stability in the country. That's why they are supporting this government. And I think both the parties are having a feeling that let the government complete this term and then they will go for the election. Nothing wrong in it.
One second,
As far as
Hartosh
Nitish Kumar is concerned, better ask
Hartosh Singh Bal
as
wants
far
to
as Nitish
contradict
Kumar
you
is
on that.
concerned, better
Hartosh
ask
Singh Bal
this question
to
from
Sanjay Nirupam,
BJP.
please.
We've been in this situation before.
Yeah.
The left withdrew support.
Yes.
The BSP at the moment is not interested in early elections, I think, as much as the Samajwadi Party will be. The Samajwadi Party will extract its pound of flesh day by day. The Congress regretted the last year in power of UPA 1. It will regret every day it survives from now on in UPA 2.
Why?
Because that is what will happen with the Samajwadi Party again. The Samajwadi Party will play hardball, it will have absurd demands, it will want its pounds of flesh. In return, the Congress will get nothing but survival. And every day it survives this government, it will lose popular support in each part of the country.
I don't think,
Well, I
don't
think,
think that,
that's a pretty ominous prediction here.
Arnab, I don't think this
the
observation
question
is correct.
also is,
Samajwadi
Mahesh Jethmalani wants to come in. Sanjay Nirupam.
Arnab, just two things. And really their response to what Sabha said earlier. First, I completely disagree with her that 80% the DMK is out and 20% they're in. I think rather it's the reverse. I don't think that the DMK is going to ultimately stick with his decision. I think there will be a compromise found. And really the question that the whole country should be worried about today is not whether this government survive or
They
how long.
cannot compromise,
What it really should... One minute, what it should really be
Mr.
worried about is
Jethmalani, I don't
what
understand
price,
why you seem
what
to be
price
so
this-
keen that the government survives with the DMK support.
I'm not saying I'm not keen at all. I'm just making a prediction. I don't think the DMK has the courage to walk out of this government. I think it is too subject to blackmail by the Congress government to walk
Sorry,
out.
sir.
I think it will turn back.
Sorry.
If you look at the timing, 1 minute. If you look at the
Mr.
timing
Jethmalani, what
of
do you
its
know that I
response
don't?
now, it's just before.
What do you know that I don't about what's
Let
going
me-
on between the DMK and the Congress party? I am a very naive journalist. Could you please enlighten me on the news hour tonight?
10% out of the UPA.
If you look at the Arnab, if you look at the timing, the
can kindly
shrill
believe
response
me,
of the
we are
DMK,
10% out
it has
of the
come
UPA.
only a few days before the UN resolution. You know,
Okay.
this is going to be a big. There's going to be big international focus on the US resolution before the UNHRC on the 21st of March. So it is obvious that the DMK was going to throw in its hat in the ring and make a big noise about it. The timing is all because of the 21st March.
Mahesh.
Once that fades away, you rest assured they will back out of this issue. But the more important question, Arnab, surely is what
I
price
don't
will
know,
the Congress pay?
You seem
And
to
again,
have some inside track information which I don't. Well, perhaps they will. Perhaps they will. I don't know. I don't know, Mr. Jethmalani.
I do believe.
All I know is that the country,
If the
has
Congress-
been taken to the brink.
If the Congress accedes to the
Swapan
demands,
Dasgupta raises
and
a
again
finger.
I disagree with
One
Sabha
second.
here, if the
Mr. Jethmalani, Swapan Dasgupta also raised his hand there. Yes, Mr. Dasgupta.
Yes,
Yeah, all I want to tell Mahesh, Mahesh, you may be right. I don't know. Ultimately, we are not prophets. We are not sort of astrologers. But you know, one of the major things which really is going to influence the DMK decision is the fact that Jayalalitha, and as far as they are concerned, Jayalalitha is the principal adversary. Jayalalitha has already taunted them with precisely the same type of allegations that you are making, which is that this is a sham, this is a bit of grandstanding, etc., that ultimately you'll come back tail between your legs. And I think the DMK, if that indeed was one of their calculations, because of that taunt, will find it that much more difficult to do it. So, regardless of what may have been an initial calculation, sometimes events take their own course. And in this case, I think the DMK finds itself a prisoner of its own very lofty rhetoric.
But Swapan, the
DMK has been trapped in its own rhetoric, says Swapan Das Gupta. Yes, Mr. Jethmalani, you won't relent till the government survives.
The last word is only this: the DMK has already kept its door open for a compromise. It has already said that this is not a final walkout, and they're open. I suspect there will be some wishy-washy resolution.
I have one observation. Rashtrapati Bhavan today, Mr. Jethmalani. Sorry, sir.
Okay. Mr. Jethmalani and Sanjay Nirupam, I thank you. Joining our panel is Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress Party, and my first question goes to Venkaiah Naidu. Venkaiah Naidu, I'd like you to address Abhishek Manu Singhvi at the start, because we've been talking to a lot of Congress leaders, and they've been telling us that, we are moved by the concern that the BJP has about the stability of this government, but don't worry, we have the numbers, and it's not your problem, it is our problem. We have the numbers. Don't give yourself a headache worrying about our numbers. So, Venkaiah Naidu, right at the start, would you concede that the government has the numbers and it's not your problem how the government survives, as long as it survives?
It's not our problem, it's the country's problem. The government has already become a lame duck government. It will have effect on the functioning of the government, which is facing multi-dimensional challenges from every front. After the TMC and DMK has withdrawn the support, the Congress is reduced to minority. It's very clear. The figures will speak for themselves. And the Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party are supporting the government out of compulsion. It's a coalition out of compulsion. How long they will continue to do it? That has to be seen.
Yes.
My point is, the government is on ventilator, supported by SP and BSP. How long they will continue to support, that has to be seen. All the alliance partners have understood there is no meaning and no purpose will be achieved to continue to go along with this government. That's why one after another, after searching for a reasonable alibi or explanation, they are withdrawing one after another. That's why the doubt about continuity of the government. If the government want to manage and then go on with the compromising on each and every issue, it is left to them. It will be a country's misfortune.
So what are you saying? Should there be an election?
But we have nothing to lose.
No, what are you saying, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu? Are you suggesting that the better option is to have an election, an early general election? Are you daring the Congress Party on national television to have an early general election?
Yes, enough is enough now. How can you run a government like this? The Samajwadi Party called FDI as an invitation to East India Company. The BSP has demanded complete rollback of FDI.
Yeah.
They are supporting the government out of compulsion for reasons best known to all, to you and to me, to the entire country. How long they will be able to do it? Let us see.
3 points. 3 points, Dr. Singhvi. 3 points, Dr. Singhvi. Give me point by point rebuttal. Point 1 of Venkaiah Naidu, your government with the support of 245, a minority government, is on ventilator. Secondly, one after the other, allies are finding an excuse to get out of this alliance. And thirdly, I have not seen something as straightforward as this, a top BJP leader challenging you to call an early general election. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, it's better not to survive than survive like this, says the BJP.
I've been enriching myself today in the course of several programs in the evening I've heard the word ICU, ventilator, lame duck, dead as a dodo, and a few others. Now, I'm asking myself one question to answer the first point. How much we were a few days ago, a few weeks ago, Arnab? We were 250 before this thing. Now we are supposed to be 232. How long have we been 250 for? For about a year.
Done.
Has the government fallen? We've been hearing stories, yes, we've been hearing stories, predictions, doomsday scenarios every day for the last 8 months from all quarters, official, unofficial, about an election next week. Has it happened? Has the government fallen? No. So the first lesson to be learned, these numbers can vary, they do vary, but it doesn't mean anything about the stability of the government. Point one. Point two, the BJP and certain other trigger-happy friends of ours like the Trinamool had very, very great opportunities to move the no-confidence motion. They shouted about it, they raved about it, they ranted about it, they threatened about it, they talked about it, they innuendoed about it, but they never got the confidence to move a no-confidence. They never got the confidence of the House to move a no-confidence. What does that mean, Arnab? It means that the confidence of the House lies with us.
No,
Number
but
three.
how does that answer Abhishek
Yes.
Manu Singhvi's question?
Yes,
how
let
does
me
that answer
answer.
Abhishek
No,
Manu
I'm
Singhvi? How does it
answering all
answer
the-
Venkaiah Naidu's question?
No, I'm answering. Just let me complete 1 minute more. Now, this shows that this constant, sensationalism about this government has lost the confidence, lost the will, etc. Not at all. On the contrary, the sad truth is that nobody is
How is
joining
this
you
sensational?
in toppling the government. This government will complete its terms. But let me tell you one thing. One last point is very important on substance. Just half a minute, please. Please. Had it not been for
The
this
numbers speak
government's
for themselves,
commitment
yeah, the number has
to
come
somehow
down.
reconcile difficult, one second, to reconcile very difficult and different scenarios. One, a possibility of us being criticized by other countries about our human rights records. Two, India's international commitments, whereby we don't easily take action against friendly nations. Three, Sri Lanka's strategic importance. Four, the genuine, very valid and strong concerns and sentiments of the Sri Lankans, of the Tamilians. Now, it is because we want to get these four things on board that we are taking time. We believe that we will have the DMK on board
political question
shortly.
is this. No,
and
I'm
we
not
believe
getting into
that
the
we
Sri
will sort it
Lanka
out.
resolution and its wording.
Yes.
I am asking you a political
Yes.
question, and that
Yes.
political question is this. Let Venkaiah Naidu also come in. My question is 9 parties, and by the way, I'm completely
Can I answer?
accurate on
Can
the
I
numbers.
answer?
I never get
Yes.
numbers wrong. You had 245 before 18 DMK walkout. You have 227. On top of it, you have 22 and 21 of the BSP. That's 43. Add that to 227, and you come to a figure of 270 if the two parties support you. And that's a big if. So you are edgy on the numbers. The question is this. Swapan Das Gupta made the point. You have 9 parties, single-digit parties, on whose support you now survive. 9 parties, right or wrong, Dr. Singhvi? 9
What is the
single-digit
sequitur?
parties.
So what's the sequitur? It just shows that a number of parties support us. What's the sequitur? Should we say, please don't support us because you are single digit?
Well,
Should
no,
we
I don't
say
think so.
that you are political
I don't
pariahs
think
because
so.
you're part
There's a
of the
different
BJP?
interpretation
What's
of
the problem?
I'd get my
What's the
panel in.
problem
9
with Mr.
single-digit
Swapan Das Gupta
parties.
has?
No, you're asking
what's
me
the
for the
problem with-
sequitur. I won't give the sequitur. No. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Our panel is Sabha Naqvi, Rajagopalan and Hartosh. Both have points of view.
Arnab, much more interesting. Just now I got one SMS. Vidudalai Sirithaigal, they have only one MP. He has also withdrawn today.
Who is
Along
that?
with DMK. Along with DMK, one member party. Tirumala Malavan,
Even MIM.
Vidudalai Sirithaigal. He has gone to Rashtrapati Bhavan and handed over his letter. One member party.
I am delighted that Abhishek Singhvi is seeing humor in this situation here today. At least he's smiling there. Hartosh also wants to say to you, Hartosh, Abhishek Singhvi challenges us. He says, what is the sequitur? What is the big deal about 9 single-digit MPs supporting this government? Why are you making a big deal of it?
There's a lovely Monty Python movie where this man keeps challenging everybody to fight him. He loses one arm, loses another arm. Eventually, he's without arm, without legs, and he still wants to fight. This is what the Congress is. It's losing allies one by one. Soon it will be left without the numbers. At this stage, what will Mr. Singhvi say?
Yeah.
Dodo government.
Can I just, I want to just ask Abhishek a question that how are you going to get all those Aam Aadmi legislation through? How are you going to get the, budget, presuming that people will get the budget through. I have that question for you. The other
Exactly.
question is,
Now,
Abhishek,
that's a
right
very
now,
good question.
I mean, I would also say this to Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, they're also in no position to replace the government right now, and nobody knows what will come out of the next election. However, the situation right now is really amazing when it comes to the two players from Uttar Pradesh. Mayawati is waiting for Mulayam to continue his free fall because this is a regime which has the quickest anti-incumbency that I've seen in UP, which I know well. Mulayam Singh Yadav thinks he's going to recover in 1 year.
And one of them pull out.
And one of them.
And one second, before I come back to you, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Kumar Ketkar, one of them pull out. Something happens in UP. Something explosive happens in UP. One of those two parties pull out. What happens to the government then, Kumar Ketkar? Even one.
Actually, if history is any guide, in 2008, left pulled out and everybody thought elections would come immediately in that October after they pulled out in July. And actually elections came in 2009 and everybody thought that in 2009, because of the 2008 episode and left withdrawal, government will go completely down the drain and therefore they got more than normal seats. So I think if history is any guide, back again in 1970 when Mrs. Gandhi's government was reduced to minority government after the Congress was split, it also survived till 1971. So I don't think we can go on predicting. I don't think we can go on predicting what the government will. They can lose numbers, but that doesn't mean that they will definitely not be able to survive. Losing numbers doesn't mean necessarily not ability to survive. No confidence motion will have to be brought in. No confidence will have to be voted. There will be many people who will abstain. And suddenly and the government survives. Now your next question, original question was,
Kumar Ketkar,
no, Arnab, your question was whether survival. Arnab, your question was whether survival is important or governance is important. As far as governance is concerned, that's a separate issue. At present, you are discussing survival. I don't think survival is an immediate, imminent danger.
Right.
Not imminent danger. To the political panelists, just coming to you, Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Venkaiah Naidu, I'm coming back to you because you are the two main protagonists. I just want to go to Swapan Dasgupta, who also wanted to make a comment before I return to the BJP and the Congress. Yes, Swapan Dasgupta.
Yeah, I just wanted to refer to Kumar Ketkar's thing about history, and Kumar, with his great erudition of left literature, would certainly have realized that the history does often repeat itself, but also first time is tragedy, the second time is farce. And I think to actually believe that a replication of that earlier scenario is going to happen is a bit of wishful thinking.
But that was supposed to be a farce.
Disturbed.
At that time it was supposed to be a farce.
But Kumar, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
But I think it's very, very important. I think we have to look at, I think there's certain smugness which I think greets the response of Abhishek Singhvi. You see, I can understand that the government says, look, yes, it is true, we've lost the numbers, we are in difficulty, we are trying to hold on and trying to make the best of a situation because we want to avert elections, because we want to go in and finish the complete term of government. I think that's understandable. But to dismiss it and to therefore, and at the same time, claim legitimacy, forget issues about governance. I think, to my mind, it shows an attitude. It shows a belief, oh, we have the divine right to rule. It doesn't matter whether it's a one-member party or a two-member party or three-member party. Ultimate thing is, we have the divine right to rule, and therefore, come what may, we will be there. Everything else can be ridiculed with a sneer, and we can enrich ourselves with other snide comments.
Yeah, Abhishek Singhvi's first response. After that, Venkaiah Naidu. Is that smugness a comment correct? Would you completely disagree with it, Dr. Singhvi?
What Swapan has done is nothing but repeat a much stereotyped, much tried journalistic trick. Try to paraphrase and rephrase what I have not said in his words as divine right, as smugness, as dismissive. I don't think he either was there when he heard me speak, or he's obviously deliberately shutting his ears, because none of those three adjectives apply to what I said. I never used those words. Number one. Number two, I think what does apply is not my smugness or claim to divine right, but a clear desperation of the BJP to somehow come back to power without election at the right time and without moving a no confidence motion. Number 3, to answer Sabha's point, it's a very important
Why
point.
do you say that?
Yes.
No, why do you say that?
You can look at our, I say that because instead of taking a legitimate political path, the BJP is constantly fishing in troubled waters. Take for example what has happened now. What has happened now is a single issue difference between allies, which is certainly not the fissure or the break which has happened, for example, with the Trinamool. But the BJP, and of course more than
why
the BJP,
are you blaming the BJP for it? Did the BJP tell the DMK to do this?
wants to no, I'm saying wants to enlarge it and exaggerate it into a deep fissure instead of a uni-issue problem which we have, which we are trying to solve, which we hope will be solved in 2-3 days. We are not fighting with the DMK. We still have great deep respect for each other. But yes, there is a problem.
Let the BJP
now, one last thing. On Sabha's question, please remember the difference between numbers being smaller and voting for issues.
The BJP is not responsible for the walkout.
Let Venkaiah Naidu respond to you now. Venkaiah Naidu, Abhishek Manu Singhvi says that you are deliberately trying to create trouble for the UP. I think it's your turn to respond now. Please go ahead, sir.
It's their own making. The Congress party basically do not know how to run a coalition. They do not have a leader who can take everybody along with. And the third thing is the art of governance of a coalition is something alien to the Congress party. They are arrogant. They never consult opposition. They always insult even their own allies. This is what is happening one after another. These parties are leaving because they have understood that the public mood is turning fast against the Congress party. This strategy of a morning talk out, afternoon walk out and evening bailout will not help them. They are understanding it. That's why sooner than earlier the Samajwadi party, please take it from me, they will be forced to walk out of this government. Congress should thank their institutions of CBI, IB, income tax and the institution of Raj Bhavan that has been helping them from time to time. But at the same time, when the people have realized that the general masses are drifting away from them, they do not want to apportion the responsibility. They will walk out. It's their own making and they cannot blame the BJP. We are not saying or doing anything to bring down this government. It will collapse on its own because of its own contradictions. It is written on the wall. If my friend Abhishek Singh Manu is not able to understand, I can only sympathize with him.
Mr. Naidu.
The day is not far off when the other allies also will go out of this alliance.
Mr. Naidu.
Yeah.
We are getting a question for you, We are getting a question for you, Venkaiah Naidu. 1 minute.
Mr. Naidu.
Kumar Ketkar, Mr. Naidu.
Yeah, Mr. Naidu, if you claim to know the coalition art, the BJP claims to know the coalition art, but Jayalalitha played the same halal trick, to use Swapan's words, halal trick on you in NDA 1. And one after another, Chandra Babu left you. First Anna DMK left you, people left you even when you knew the so-called art of coalition. So you could not run your coalition and you lost by 1 vote. So I think only in second part you learned some ropes. So I don't think it's a question of art of running coalition.
23 political parties, 5 years we have completed our tenure.
You also miserably failed in running a
able leader and stable government we have proved to the country.
And so there is no question of art of coalition. At present we are discussing only art of survival and not even art of governance. And as far as art of survival is concerned,
there was no art of survival
game.
at the time.
In democracy, the art of survival is a number game. Unfortunately,
I can wait for you.
You can say unfortunately, but it's a number game. You can't help it.
Kumar Ketkar, let him respond. You made your point.
I can tell you, please, bear with me for a minute.
You could not have
23 political parties. 23. We have completed 5 years.
No, you did not. First
we
time
gave a stable government, first non-Congress government to give stability to the country.
You completed only 13 months initially.
No, no. That was because the ADMK has withdrawn and then ADMK has faced the consequences.
Because your coalition partners left.
5 years, Sri Atal Bihari
Jayalalitha
Vajpayee
left, and later on Chandrababu left.
Completed its tenure without any problem.
Mr.
No, nobody has left.
Of course they
Nobody has left as long as we were in power. It was only subsequently.
No,
the
Jayalalitha
arrangements
left
have
when you were
changed.
in power.
Tomorrow also you will see how
Jayalalitha
things
withdrew ministers when you were in power. Jayalalitha withdrew ministers when you were in
That's why,
power.
sir, I am saying after that she has faced the consequences.
So if you knew the coalition art,
2004.
if you knew the coalition art, you would not have been defeated on the floor.
Why? Because she
Well,
made an
Kumar
unreasonable
Ketkar, I
demand.
think the point is made out there. I just want to go back to our guest from the DMK before wrapping this up. May I ask you, Mr. Bharti, I have 2-3 questions for you. First is that the DMK has a huge history of flip-flops, Mr. Bharti. You have done flip-flop on fuel price hike, you have done flip-flop on Lanka in the past. You have done so many flip-flops, at least 7 or 8 separate flip-flops. Can you afford to do a flip-flop without ruining your political credibility in Tamil Nadu, Mr. Bharti?
So far as DMK is concerned, for the last 50 years we have been fighting for the cause of the Sri Lankan Tamilians. Even in 2009, our leader, when the people were suffering there, facing difficult crisis, he went on fast, compelled the government then to take the action. Because of the elections, then after the elections, the UPA too was requested to help the people who are in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, so that was your
People were
flip-flop, Mr. Bharti.
MPs were
Mr.
sent there.
Bharti, everyone is accusing you. You have stayed in every government. You take Congress, you
See,
take VP
without-
Singh,
without
you take any
knowing-
government,
see,
you have been represented in that government. But in the Sri Lankan policy, during your
So far as
tenure,
Sri Lankan
did not
issues
yield
concerned,
any result.
see,
And then
Sri
do you
Lankan
think
issues concerned,
that Mr.
we have
Karunanidhi,
been
when he
fighting for
withdrew
their
the
cause
trust,
for the
when
last
Sri
50
Lankan
years.
bombing was
Many of them may not be
held,
knowing the history
why
of the
Mr. Karunanidhi
Sri
withdrew
Lankan
that
issue.
fast?
From 1956,
Aruna, I had a question.
our leader Karunanidhi has been taking steps from 1956 DMK has been fighting for the cause of the Tamilians. And even in 2009. And we have suffered because of
Mr. Bharti,
you have been in every government.
Mr. Bharti,
we have lost the government in
Bharti, look back at
our
recent
government
history
was
in 2011.
Our government was
in 2011, Mr. Bharti. In 2011, Mr. Bharti, Karunanidhi got these MPs to submit resignations to him, but nothing happened. The Sri Lankan army went ahead with its war, and Karunanidhi did not do anything. Venkaiah Naidu of the BJP has a last question. I think the BJP is asking the DMK a question tonight. Yes, Mr. Naidu, go ahead. Directly to Mr. Bharti of the DMK. Go ahead.
Simple question.
Listen to the question from Venkaiah Naidu, Mr.
My
Bharti.
friend from DMK is, in 2009, when the Sri Lankan conflict was at peak, you were in power in Tamil Nadu, you are part of the alliance in Delhi. If you have taken similar stand as you have taken now, things would have been totally different. At that time, you were silent. Now you are trying to be violent. How do you explain this?
We were not at all, sorry sir, with great respect to you, we were not at all silent. We were pressing upon the UPA. We were relying upon them. But at last we came to know that they could not do anything, and now we have taken this drastic step. And we are not going to go back from this.
No, that happened in 2009. War was finished.
Yes, 2009 we went
now you are raising the issues.
We went Mr. Karunanidhi went on fasting.
I respect you. What is the achievement of the fast? Nothing.
See, last 15 for
Today,
the last
at least
1
you
month, what is
have
happening in
courage to
Tamil
walk
Nadu?
out of the government.
Students, advocates, everybody are agitating. And we have been pressing the central government.
Agreed.
We are we are relying upon the central government. And now, since we have been betrayed, we are coming out. That's all.
Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, can I say one thing? Can I just appreciate something most candidly? I think your way with words is superb. And there are two things you said today. First, you said the DMK was first silent, and now the DMK is violent. That's fantastic. And the other point which you
You were
made
never
is
silent, sir.
walk
You
out
were
in the
never
morning.
silent.
Politically.
Mr.
Bail
Venkaiah
out?
Naidu,
What
we
was
were
the
never
other thing,
silent.
What was... Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, what was your second observation on walkout and bailout?
Now, the second observation is these parties in the parliament in the morning they protest by talk out. In the afternoon they go to the extent of walkout. By evening or late in the night, whenever an occasion comes, they bail out the government. This is what is happening so far.
Wonderful,
But I can
wonderful.
tell you,
Mr.
all these
Venkaiah, that's a really original comment. Talk out, then walk out, and then bail out. And the DMK first was silent, and now the DMK is violent. That's political argument, Venkaiah Naidu style. Thanks for bringing a smile to the face of all our viewers and panelists. To all my panelists, we don't know which way this government will go, but surely it's going to be a bit of a rocky surface for the next 14 months. Thank you very much, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1. Thank you.